the shipped it fast answer that sounds great, but fails the bar raiser. Most candidates talk about the methodological trade-offs they made when the bar raiser is actually listening for whether you owned the decision to ship and could articulate the cost of waiting. The question is, tell me about a time you shipped an analytical framework or experiment under time pressure rather than waiting for a perfect methodology. This probes move fast, which at Meta means a bias for action even under analytical uncertainty, because delayed measurement is itself a product decision with real consequences at Meta scale. What the interviewer is actually listening for is whether you consciously owned the call to ship, communicated limitations clearly to stakeholders, and validated your assumptions after launch. Here is how most candidates answer this question about shipping under time pressure.
We were launching a new feed ranking change and needed an experiment readout within 2 weeks. The ideal approach would have been a full holdout with a 30-day run, but we didn't have time. So I designed a shorter 7-day test and adjusted our power calculations accordingly. I documented the statistical limitations, lower power, higher variance in engagement metrics, and flagged that the results would be directional rather than conclusive. The PM accepted that framing. We shipped based on the directional signal, and the feature launched. I noted we should do a follow-up measurement later.
Decision framed as PM's acceptance, not candidate's owned call. No articulation of the cost of waiting, only the risk of shipping. Post-launch validation described as a vague future intention, not a plan. Limitations communicated to PM, but no evidence of stakeholder alignment on consequences. Here is what I am writing in the debrief right now. Item 1. Candidate narrated the compromise but did not own the ship decision explicitly. Item 2. No articulation of the cost of waiting. Core move fast signal missing entirely. Item 3. Post-launch validation mentioned as a future intention, not a structured commitment. Item 4. Stakeholder communication described at the PM level only. No broader alignment evidence. Verdict: does not demonstrate move fast. Same question, same situation. Listen to how this candidate frames ownership of the decision.
We had a feed ranking change ready to ship, and the product team needed a decision in 10 days. A full 30-day holdout was the methodologically correct choice, but I calculated that waiting added 10 days of delayed measurement across 200 million daily active users. That inaction was itself a product bet. I made the call to run a 7-day test with reduced power, wrote a 1-page limitations brief for the PM and engineering lead that named the exact confidence interval we'd accept as directional, and committed to a structured 30-day post-launch holdout to validate. Engagement lift came in at 4.2%, confirmed at 30 days. The framework became our standard for time-boxed launches.
Explicitly named the cost of waiting, not just the risk of shipping. Candidate owned the ship decision. PM was informed, not the decision maker. Limitations communicated with precision. Specific confidence interval threshold named. Post-launch validation was a structured commitment, not a vague intention. Notice what changed. The candidate made the call, quantified the cost of waiting, and built in a validation mechanism before anyone asked. Item 1. Candidate quantified the cost of inaction. Delayed measurement framed as a product bet. Item 2. Explicit ownership of ship decision. Stakeholders informed with precision, not deferred to. Item 3. Limitations communicated with a named confidence threshold, not vague directional framing. Item 4. Post-launch holdout was a structured commitment that validated the decision and scaled as a reusable framework. Verdict: strong signal. Raises the bar. Before your loop, run your story through these 3 questions. Question 1. Can you name the specific cost of waiting, not just the risk of shipping? If not, you've described execution, not ownership of a move-fast decision. Question 2. Did you own the call to ship, or did a PM or a manager make it? If someone else made the call, the bar raiser won't credit you with the signal. Question 3. Was your post-launch validation a structured plan or a vague intention? A vague, "we plan to revisit it," signals you shipped and forgot. Not move fast with accountability. If you can't answer yes to all three, your story doesn't demonstrate move fast. It demonstrates compliance. How do your real stories score? Get a personalized report scored against the interview rubric Meta uses for your role. Find it at interview101.com.